All right, Mr. Johnny Ray Turner, we want to thank you for interviewing with us today at ELIME. And so you are a published author.
Yes.
Yeah. So we just want to know a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to start writing.
I guess when my children were younger and in middle school, I write a lot of Christian youth fiction. So in the bookstores, there's not a lot of books on fiction for Christians, and especially not for the young age group.
Mhm.
So, the part that inspired me probably the most would be my children and giving them something to read. There is some stuff out there, but not nearly enough, I thought. So that's where the inspiration came from.
Nice.
Writing these stories for my children. And then from that point, then, yeah, we published them. And it's been a really nice little like snowball that's been building. So everybody kept asking me, when are you going to write your next book? When are you going to write your next book? So now, several books later, and not only do I write, but I also illustrate, books too for other authors. So, but they're all within, the children, probably ages from 5 to like 13. So the younger early readers, and then middle school age. Yes.
Okay. So what age were you when you started to write?
Oh, that was an early one. Like my earliest recollection of actually writing and getting something published was probably when I was in finishing up in elementary school and going into middle school. And I had written a short story, and it's a funny one. It's called Oscar the Cross-Legged Pheasant, but it was about a boy who found a pheasant, a bird that its legs were broken. So he nurses the bird back to health, and at the end of the story, the bird flies away, and there's like a lot of the emotional, like, okay, yeah, letting the bird, you never owned it, let it fly free kind of thing. So, but yeah, and it actually got published in the state newspaper, and I got some awards and stuff like that from it. And then from there, high school and college, I wrote, and drew, like comic book type stories for college as well as, high school too. So, and then from that point, then we took a little bit of a break from it. Did a lot of like for literature for Sunday schools for the children through the churches I attended. And then from that point, then we said, yeah, let's go ahead and start writing. So yeah, something that was a passion of mine for a while.
Oh, wow. That's great to hear. So like, do you have any goals as a writer in general, or do you just write just to write, or?
Oh no, the goals is definitely to get some Christian fiction out there. I go to a lot of conferences, and not only do I attend them, but I also speak at them too. So the big goal for me is just getting literature out there for young people. Good, clean literature. Seems like nowadays everything's going toward like the young adult, fiction.
Yeah.
Um, when you're talking about the Christian genre, that limits, things a little bit. So, Mark, I'm going to be honest with you. It's hard, and it's a hard area because so many people are extremely protective in that area. So what we did is and I say we, myself, but then other authors, that will do that is, write for Christian fiction. And it's our goal, to get as much literature out there, good, clean literature that, children can read.
Yeah, that's good. I really like that because I just feel like as a creative, it's good just to like present some type of art, to where like everybody can share, but also, having like that targeted audience, you know, because there's so much information in the world, and so many people of different ages, they're not sure where to find, stuff that they can relate to. So
Agree
it's awesome,
100%.
it's always amazing when I know someone is just creating something for, you know, a certain age group. But how long would you say it takes you to write a book?
From inception to finish published?
Yeah, like, well, yeah, pretty much. But like, let's say like one of your books. Just pick like a book that you have. Like, what was the shortest process and the longest process of writing a book for you?
I could say that in writing a book, and it all depends on if you write those little small, like picture books or novelettes. But
Yeah.
what I do is I write full, like probably about 350 to 375 page, 37,000 word
Oh, wow.
novel, for a young reader. That's, our target, our audience. So like, I guess it's like get divided up into like three different sections. Like, you have an idea in your head. Like, you have, an idea like, I want to write a murder mystery, and then
Yeah.
from that point, then just like kind of jotting it down on paper. So from idea to paper, and then from that process, once you get your ideas down on paper, organizing it, getting your story arcs, your plots, your subplots, your characters, your environment, and all these things like, if you're putting into it. So like building the story, would be probably two, and then three would be getting it edited, and then actually, getting it to a publisher in their hands, and then getting it actually published. That whole process can be anywhere short term, short time, probably a 1 year process. Um, long term, could be up to like 3 to 4 years. I mean, it's not a quick and easy as people think. Like, oh, I'll just write a book, and then 2 days later you have a best-selling. I mean, I haven't, but a best-selling, top seller, at the bookstore. So, but it's a lengthy process, and then to get it right, yes.
Oh
So,
wow. So how many books do you have published already?
two, and we're getting the third one ready for the publisher now. I just happen to have a couple of copies here. Like, this is James and the Medal of Honor. It's part of the Apple Blossom series. Can you
Oh,
see
that
that
looks so
series?
cool.
Yeah, yeah. I actually do the cover work and all for it too. So,
Oh,
uh,
really? You do the cover work too?
yeah,
Oh, that's amazing. I love the
yeah.
graphics. No,
Right, but then, oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Art's always been a passion. That was an easy A for me in school growing up. But this is an ongoing series, and it deals with, I guess, this boy and these two girls, slice of life type thing, and how they deal with different things and part of growing up together. So it's all about friendship and, the trials and tribulations of life, and they face them together. So the other one is like Unlikely Hero, and this one here is kind of like a action adventure that takes back in the time of like knights, and yeah, yeah. So it's a fantasy type novel,
oh,
but and it's really one of our, I guess, the only two, but my best writing, So
okay.
I'm excited about this one here. If you want a good read, a fun read, because this is hilariously funny with twists and turns all the way along the way, this is definitely that. And then as far as like illustrating for children's books, this is one here. I've got another one that's just been published, and I do the little drawings and all for this one for another author I know. So four now with the fifth one going to probably the publisher, um, hopefully for a summer read. So yeah, just a couple more months, it should be out there for everybody. So we're
Okay. So where can we find your books?
uh, Christian bookstores used to, especially here in Aiken. We're in Aiken, South Carolina.
Yeah.
But online, Amazon, just plug in my name, Johnny Ray Turner. You might get like Johnny Cash and some of the other Johnnies out there.
Yeah.
Just Johnny Ray Turner. And it has a whole list of my books. You can get them on Amazon. That's the best place now. You could go onto my Facebook page, Apple Blossoms on Facebook page. You could order the book, directly through me, and I'll sign it for you. We're going to start reaching back out. I know with COVID and everything, everybody's been kind of like, shut in a little bit. But hopefully, we're going to start opening up some more book signings and getting back out there, libraries, book conferences, things like that. So we're starting to open that page back up again and getting back out there. So the best thing to do is go to our Facebook page. It'll give you updates on where we are and what we're doing. And then, yeah, if you want a signed copy, not a problem. I
Oh,
think the book's $10 a piece and we're good to go. Yeah.
okay. And what's the Facebook page? What's the name of that?
Apple Blossoms, the book series, and a
Okay.
lot of Apple Blossoms out there, but
There you
Apple Blossoms, and that's very pertinent to the storyline. And when you read the books, you'll see that Apple Blossoms is a pretty cool thing. Yeah, reoccurring theme throughout all the books.
go.
So,
Okay.
all
Love
right.
it. Love it. So, do you have like a schedule for like writing? Do you just write whenever you feel inspired? Do you write every day? What is the writing process for you?
Mine is probably very unorthodox, just like crazy. Some people, they have to have that like, okay, from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, I'm going to sit down and a really rigid box. I don't, man. I've got a cat curled up in my lap, I'm petting him, and sometimes it's early morning, sometimes late at night, sunny day, rainy day, but usually though, if I do sit down, this is a funny thing. I shut the door, because you don't want to be interrupted while you're writing and you got that thought process going. Like, when the gears are turning, You write like crazy. You don't worry about spelling. You don't worry about punctuation. Don't worry. You just get those ideas from here down on paper, and then you go back, and then the hard part goes in there, like when you're editing and
Yeah.
placing the book and things like that. And trust me, that requires your full undivided attention. So a lot of times, not so much a schedule. Some people do. Some people, when they do a few minutes here, a few minutes there, in between other things that they're doing, I usually like sit down with a block anywhere between 30 minutes to 2 to 3 hours, but it's uninterrupted, with the exception of, like I said, my cat, and the
Yeah.
rat. So,
How many cats do you have?
huh?
How many cats do you have?
My wife's gonna kill me, but I married the crazy cat lady. We've got like 5 cats, dude.
Ah, I
Yeah.
love it. I have two. I love
Hey, God
cats.
bless you. Yeah. Then you know what I'm talking about. They're a lot of fun. They have their own personalities. And
Yes.
I'll tell you, even in like Unlikely Hero, this one here, one of our cats was an inspiration to one of the characters within
Oh,
this.
really?
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's really funny. A huge inspiration. So when we're talking in the book, I guess they have the old saying, "You write what you know," is an expression that they use. And Mark, I'm telling you, like cats, so they're funny little like twerks and
Yes.
that they do, and they're
Just like cool little, like they have personalities.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So when I was doing a character that's a cat-like character in this book, I don't want to do any spoilers, but a lot of that went into the writing, like just my cat in my lap, and like and I started plucking away, yeah, and yeah, so yeah, 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 that's good stuff.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So, what other forms of creativity do you do or have? Like, I see that you like have like designed your covers for your books.
yeah.
So, like, what other forms of creativity do you like to do on the side besides writing books?
Okay, I guess in like author or in personal life.
We have a personal life, just as like a creative, not as an author at all, just like
I
other
love doing the,
forms.
art, is always my favorite. The drawings,
Yeah,
all that. Writing is a passion, definitely. But also, like, I'm an avid gardener. If you ever come by here, and I hope you do, Mark, I probably have over 100 different, like, varieties of flowers.
really.
But I always got blooms blooming all year round. And I always welcome people to come over. And after talking to them, if you're an avid gardener too, I'll give you some bulbs and some flowers and all, and you can plant them
Okay.
too.
Yeah, I'm a plant person.
Mind the flowers. I know.
I love plants. I love flowers. I love to have flowers in the kitchen, but I love
Yeah.
plants. So definitely have to check that out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Johnny, could you tell us like where could you see yourself at in the next like 5 years when it comes to your writing? Do you have like any type of goals within the next few years besides that new book that will be published? Yeah. Do you have any other ideas in mind already?
Yeah. As far as like writing and author, and this is cool. It's a slow process for some people. I guess they just lightning strike and they're instantly famous. But even some of them like Stephen King and some of the other ready recognizable names, they all started out like with a little writing journal that they kept, where they wrote their ideas down. And I know, I guess like Skeleton Crew is a name under like Stephen King's pen name, where he wrote a lot of books that, and through his college years, but none of them took. It wasn't until after he became famous, Stephen King, the writer, that he reintroduced some of these older stories. So I would hope that, one, be recognized as an author. And I'm starting to see that now, where people come to me when we have a book signing and they say, "Hey, look, I read your last book. It was fantastic. And I saw that you were in town. It's a, wonderful opportunity to come to you, meet you, but, get your next book, So we got some, I guess, excitement. And as an author, to be recognized, I think as an artist, or, like maybe in the movies and theater, that's like a tremendous like boost, and you're like, that's cool. That part of it is nice. The other part is being able to, like, a lot of my books are in like libraries and churches, and like just all the way across the board, like in people's homes. And a lot of parents use these here, like to read to the children or have their children read back to them. So those stories there, those are the ones that really have the greatest impact. And as far as like what I'm doing and where I want to be, yeah, I hope that that's an open market, and to be recognized like, okay, this is a good, clean author here, and I trust him and his books in my home with my children. And then that's going to open up all kinds of opportunities and open up doors. And I think that that would be a great, like 5 years from now, to be in a place where, yeah, you're recognized, as a Christian author. That would be cool. That would be more than cool, I think.
Okay.
Blessing. So yeah.
Okay. All right, Mr. Johnny, Ray Turner, we want to thank you for your time interviewing with us and speaking
Yes.
out about yourself as a published author and creative. I really enjoyed speaking with you always, but getting to
Always,
know
yeah.
more about your craft and your art is amazing, and we love it. And we just want to say, just keep creating.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. I
Right? Do
appreciate
you have
it.
any final words that you would want to say to the audience or anything?
Seek inspiration and follow your dreams.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Johnny.
Yes. Mark, you have a good one, and thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
Yes, sir.